Hello, everyone, and welcome to Club Reaction to Ross County 0, Rangers 3 here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. I am Scott Carney, and unfortunately for you all, I am on my own today. But fortunately for everyone, I'm here to discuss and bring reaction to a very positive away win for Rangers in the league. Hallelujah, hallelujah, we have managed to get there. After this has now become a very positive week for Rangers. And if exactly a week and about 2 hours ago, if you'd have asked me that were Rangers guaranteed to get 9 points out of 9 over the next 3 games against St Johnstone, Kilmarnock and away to Ross County, I would have said probably not, based on what we had seen previously. But Rangers today, it's a very comfortable win. A very comfortable win, and I think we'll all take that after the away form that we've been seeing from Rangers this season, and especially coming into it after Wednesday night, such a enjoyable night at Ibrox on Wednesday. The last thing that you would want for us going into a rather big week, 2 big games to come up, would be a kind of damp squid of a performance. You wanted something pretty good, and yeah, on that pitch in particular, I think Rangers have again managed their business very well today. And the changes that Clement has made to the kind of the formation, to the lineup, to his tactics, to what he's doing, it's worked. It really has worked, and I'm delighted that it's worked, because yeah, that was very convincing by Rangers today. We were in never really any great danger, I don't think, and yeah, I will happily take 9 points out of 9 after what we've been witnessing this season, and especially the last 2 performances have been rather pleasing. 10 goals in 3 games, 3 clean sheets, winning 3-0 on a game in Dingwall, that's on a shocker of a pitch. You could see how bad the pitch was, a very heavy looking pitch. I don't think you can really fault that, and if you want to fault that, then you don't want to see the positive in anything, in my opinion, because yeah, I've been longing for a positive week from Rangers. I really have. I've been waiting for it, what it seems like forever now. But the last 2 games in particular, I'm delighted with what I'm seeing. I really am delighted with what I'm seeing, and yeah, long may it continue. Long may it continue. The starting 11 I predicted correctly. The score line I predicted correctly, and the first goal scorer I predicted correctly. It's a shame I'm not a betting man, really, isn't it? I could have probably done not bad on that. But yeah, I predicted the team as it was, with Butland, Tavernier, Suter, Balogun, Jeffy, Barron, Raskin, Hadji, Tierney, Danilo and Igaman. I thought that you had to continue with that. I expected the change of Barron coming in just due to his been away from home. So yeah, one change from the team that started on Wednesday night, but yeah, he decided to kind of stay with it. This probably to me looks like it will be the starting 11 for the Old Firm next weekend. I can't see really any much change or much really need for change in that. They seem to be giving us the best opportunity just now, and I think there might have been an eye on that. Obviously, Danilo and Hadji can't play on Europe on Thursday, so I fully expected them to start. And yeah, as I said, the one change with Barron coming in made sense really for me. So yeah, I was happy to see the lineup. Again, not something you could have said too many times this season. And yeah, the going into the game itself, we take the lead in the earliest possible way, and it's the man of the moment really just now, Hamza Agaman. Now, yeah, the effort's a kind of slight deflection, but he's there to hit the shot. It goes over the top of the goalkeeper and it gets us off to the best possible start. He looks hungry for me. We've batted on about it for a while now, that you just have to develop the guy to help him reach his full potential, the potential that we want to see from him, the potential that will lead to Rangers being successful in the trading model or the player trading model. You have to play the guy. The guy's going to have to develop on the football pitch, and I'm glad he's sticking with him, because he just looks hungry. He really does look hungry. He's a much more mobile striker than what Dessers is. He likes to occupy defenders. He likes to occupy spaces. He likes to pull defenders out. He likes to make defenders think about where he's going to be. And yeah, for me, the guy right now is he's just going from strength to strength, and we are all been so desperate to have a capable striker, a capable football player, really, to be the striker that will occupy, will link up play, all of the things that he is doing. So yeah, got us off to the perfect start, and I thought Rangers were trying to still play really good football, or attractive football, decent football on what really was a heavy pitch. Again, Hadji for me looks like one that is looking right up for it just now. The only thing for me that Hadji's not doing is scoring. Some of his efforts are a bit wild, but he does like a shot from time to time. But everything else that Hadji's doing is, it's nice to see a number 10 doing number 10 things, really. And I've mentioned on previous podcasts, football doesn't need to be complicated. Just play players where their strengths are, and you'll get the most out of them. And Hadji's one that's came back in, and he's really making an impact, and credit to him for that. We've all said on the podcast that we don't believe is the answer. I'm happy for him to prove me wrong. I'm happy for him to do his best to completely prove me wrong. But the wee bit of his game that he's missing will be his goals. It's been a long time for him to really been playing consistent football week in and week out. As a professional, so you're hoping in time that will come, and he will. It's not for want of trying. I'm not saying that he isn't attempting it. He's not getting himself in the right positions. It's just the front line is gelling, but I think there's far more to come from it. I really do. I think Rangers could go on, and that kind of front line could strengthen. So yeah, as I say, best possible start for us. After that, Rangers kind of lost their way slightly. A few slack moments at the back. Butland owes John Souttar an early Christmas present as Butland gets the ball kind of trapped under his foot and just kind of clears it away, but Souttar is there to stop the shot coming in. I think Butland would have got back in time, don't get me wrong, but even at that, it stops Butland having to get called into action. And yeah, there was a few slack passes that was leading to unnecessary pressure for Rangers. But however, I'm saying that Butland wasn't called into action. He wasn't made a save. There was a shot from distance that Butland was stretching for, but it went wide, I think, after a deflection. So again, Rangers were just slightly losing their way a little bit, kind of similar to what Wednesday night was. I think there was just that wee lull in the middle of the first half. But again, it was no. It was not a real concern. It's not as bad as we've seen it. It wasn't just constant passes between the two centre halves, for example. We were still trying to make something happen, but the game was slightly scrappy. Just before we made it to, Tierney was breaking through on the right hand side. I don't think it was Tierney's best game. It wasn't his most kind of cutting edge clinical that I've seen. Tierney, he was breaking down the right hand side. Whether it took a bobble or he took a heavy touch, but he just ran into the keeper. From that angle where he was rushing in on the right hand side, I think he should be scoring there. If not, it definitely making the keeper make a decent save, but it gave the keeper enough time to rush out and kind of nullify the attack and get on top of the ball. But then the goalkeeper has a stinker, an absolute stinker. Not really sure why he tries to take a touch and he tries to change the shape of his body, but all credit goes to Danilo here for not giving up, for chasing the ball down, for closing the keeper down. Sticks up his foot as the keeper goes to clear it. It kind of bounces to the side. From a really tight angle, Danilo just tucks it into the net as the keeper has got no chance to rush back and to save it. A real gift for us, and it just came at the right time for me. As we made it to, I thought, right, that's much better. To be going on at half time away from home when you're 2-0 up is something we all hope for, we all dream for, really. And yeah, I was at half time, I was going, the game is pretty much over. I think a third would absolutely seal it. But again, not a classic performance. I'm not going to act like it is, but again, it's much more convincing. It's not something that I'm watching going, oh, where is it coming from? Where is this goal coming from? Where is our attacking play coming from? Because we're seeing it with the players that we're choosing to play, with Higaman, Danilo, with Hadji, with Jeff, even in that first half, who I thought was great in that first half. But Tierney, even though he wasn't on the ball, he wasn't on the boil today. He was still involved. He was still very much involved, and having all these creative options is what you're going to need. It's really what we're going to need, and it's what we've been hoping to see for so long. So again, not a classic by any stretch of the imagination. The pitch was pretty disgusting. But again, credit for Rangers for going in at 2-0 at half time, because I thought another goal completely secures us the 3 points. Even though at that, I did think 2 would probably be enough. Into the second half, Ross County probably should have scored. They had 2 headers that were from close range. The second one brought out a superb save from Butland. Really the only time Butland was called into action today, and he was there to do it. It was a fantastic save, it really was, but they'll be feeling pretty hard done by that they didn't score. And at this point I was just thinking, right, Rangers, a third is exactly what we need now, just to get us over that line, just to give you that wee bit of breathing room. Do you know what I mean? Just to give you that wee bit of breathing room to go, right, the points are secure and there's not really much else to go on. But as I said, from 60 to 75, Rangers did push for a third. I thought we became the dominant team again. There was a kind of golf mouth scramble and joint involving John Souttar. There was a Tierney effort again. It was pretty tame from him. It was kind of right at the keeper when he put in down the right hand side. I think put it into the far corner. He probably would have scored it. And Diggerman had a shot, I think, from a tight angle as well. But at that point, the manager made changes. Tierney and Danilo replaced Barami and were replaced, by Barami and Sterling. Good to see Sterling back, even because we're at the point now where we need as many players as we can. We've got big games coming up. It's a busy period for every football team, but the more options you have, the better. When you can make changes, etc. That's kind of what you're looking for. But Rangers were pushing on. I don't think Ross County offered very much after that for the entire the rest of the game. I thought Rangers were very much in control after their wee kind of up spell, if you like. They're kind of trying to get themselves back in the game spell at the start of the second half. But after that, I thought Rangers were pretty dominant, as we were for the most of the 90 minutes. In the last 15, we did make changes. Igaman, Barron, and Hadji were replaced with Dessers, Diomande, and Dow. There was a decent effort from Barami just before we scored our third from the edge of the box, but it was saved by the keeper, and then James Tavernier. The ball kind of breaks to him from the right hand side, a bit scrappy, but I think Barami had to attempt to cross, and then County couldn't really clear their lines, and it kind of spun out and came across over to James Tavernier, who first time, I mean, it's an absolute beauty with the outside of the kind of right foot, a kind of outswinger into the far corner, keeper standing still as well, and it completely secures us the 3 points at that point. And I'm delighted for James Tavernier, I really am. Whether the spell out for him, whether the kind of the not playing week in, week out has sparked something in him, I don't know. But if we get 3/4 of the kind of James Tavernier that we've seen when he was in his peak, peak of his powers, then it's only going to be a good thing for Rangers. And if one thing or another, it annoys Rangers Twitter, doesn't it, when James Tavernier does quite well. But full credit to him, 2-2 for the captain. Two of our strikers today scored again for the second game in a row. These are the things that we need to be happening. We have been far too reliant on James Tavernier in years gone past. Of course we have, but he also hasn't been contributing even nearly enough. But for him to get 2-2 and the way that he took that second goal, even the goal against Kilmarnock was good, but that goal today, beauty. And the camera angle from the telly was a great angle to see curling into the net. So I'm pleased for Tavernier, and the more players that we are having reaching form, the better. I'm not going to sit and pretend that was the best I'm ever going to see Rangers, but it doesn't matter. It was just building on what Wednesday night was, and that's exactly what we've done. A convincing 3-0 win away in Dingwall. You're always going to take it. Always going to take it. If you're not happy about that, then I'm not sure you're watching the right thing, because I'm delighted with how things have went this week. As I say, 9 from 9. I can't really take anything away from the team. It's now up to the players to continue this on. It's up to the manager to continue this on. It's up to the players and the manager to make sure that this isn't just a wee blip that we're going to get a wee purple patch. This has to be consistent now. But we're building that, and it looks like we are building that. And I tweeted at the end of the game, and dare I say it, are we nearly round this corner? Are we turning the corner? Are we on the bend of that corner? Maybe one for discussions for further podcasts, but there is no getting away from what we've seen this past 7 days has been better. There's nobody that can say that it isn't. Wednesday night, tonight, and today even is more like it, much more like it. That's as a routine win as you'll get away from home. You're going to take that every day of the week in Scotland, and especially in December. So, no, I'm happy with what I'm seeing so far. We've got 2 massive games coming up, like absolutely huge games coming up, in terms of what it means for the rest of this season. Obviously, there's a glamour tie against Spurs on Thursday, which is huge for the club. I don't think it's a must win. However, the game following that very much for me is a must win for Clermont. There's no point in Clermont doing all he has in this past week to quieten the kind of criticism that he's been getting, which has been rightly justified. I'm not going to act like it hasn't been, but there would be no point in him doing that for him to go and completely change everything when he goes into Sunday. Thursday's a free hit, if you like, in my opinion. It's pretty much a free hit. However, Sunday is the big one. It really is the big one. It's what these three games have been in preparation for. And I do believe the starting 11 that we've seen today is probably what you're going to see, barring any injuries or any last minute kind of problems that players may have. I think that's the team you'll see line up against Celtic on Sunday, and we have to just go for them. We have to just go for them. So, yeah, it'll be about that now. Obviously, Spurs will come first, and we can't take our eye off the ball in that regard. However, everybody knows what's just over the horizon. Everybody knows what we are going into a week on Sunday. So, yeah, we've got a mammoth task on our hands, but to have a week like that in preparation for a pretty big week, then I don't think we can ask much more as Rangers fans. It's positive to see, and I'm happy to be sitting having a positive reaction to the game. So that will do me for today. Tuesday, hopefully we'll do a club deck corner again. It's just people's availability really at this time of year. I'm hoping to have at least one person come on with me on Tuesday. We'll do a club deck corner. I'm away for the Spurs game. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to go to the Spurs game, but I think Alistair will probably bring a reaction. It might be a wee bit later getting uploaded and stuff, just because of me being away, but I'll try my best to make sure that it's up, as will Alistair. But I know Ali's going, so I'm hoping that Ali will do a reaction for us on Thursday. Should be back for Friday for Club Live as we preview the pretty ginormous cup final coming up on the Sunday. So yes, Rangers haven't ruined our weekend. Long may it continue. Long may it continue. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, all the usual stuff. Until I speak to you on Tuesday, hopefully enjoy your week. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Cheers, everybody.